The lieutenant of the 1st Division, Chojiro Sasakibe, is one of the most overlooked characters within Bleach. Despite him having served under Head Captain Yamamoto for over 1,000 years, he was even looked down upon by other members of the Gotei 13. It is only during the 1,000-year Blood War arc that we learn about Sasakibe's Bankai, Koko Gonryo Rikyu. This translates to Golden Lightning Palace. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing why Sasakibe's Bankai lives up to its grand name. I'll also be exploring the abilities and appearance of this Bankai, as well as expanding upon the link between Sasakibe's Bankai and the Shikai of his Zanpakuto. We briefly saw Sasakibe's Shikai during the Soul Society arc, but it is not used again throughout the entirety of the series. So therefore, I'll be using information from both the anime and the manga in order to deliver a bit more of a detailed analysis. Be sure to stick around until the very end of the video, as I'll be talking about how the 1,000-year Blood War arc anime had handled the Bankai reveal of Sasakibe, along with providing us a notable flashback which does somewhat impact the development of his character. So without further delay, here is my video examining the hidden abilities of Sasakibe's Bankai, Koko Gonryo Rikyu. We got really tired of the same old boring anime shirts, so we decided to launch Getsuga.com with the aim of creating designs inspired by our favorite anime and manga. We came up with designs that look cool and represent all of our favorite stories. Check out the latest Instinct collection, which features some amazing designs like this Frosted Heavens design inspired by Toshiro Hitsugaya, or this Instinct design inspired by Hollow Ichigo, and my personal favorite, which is the Heart design, which was inspired by Ukiura Shifa. Do not miss out, go to Getsuga.com and wear your favorite stories. Sasakibe's Zanpakuto is called Gonryōmaru, which translates to Solemn Spirit. It falls under the rare lightning type classification, and it is capable of producing and manipulating lightning. Among the various elemental subtype Zanpakuto, Sasakibe's is unique in this regard, as the other elemental types include fire, ice, earth, and wind, but they do not include lightning. This unique elemental type makes Sasakibe's Bankai even more interesting once it is finally revealed. At the very beginning of the 1,000-year Blood War arc, Sasakibe's Bankai is stolen from him by Sternritter O the Overkill Driscoll Bursey. In chapter 504, we witness the Bankai for the very first time in the series, though it is wielded by Driscoll. It is revealed that Sasakibe had not used his Bankai for over a millennia, thus Hisagi is astounded by the immense Reiatsu that his Bankai releases, and he is particularly struck by the fact that another Zanpakuto besides Hyorinmaru is capable of influencing the weather. Before delving into the flashback where Sasakibe uses his Bankai, it is important to first talk about his Shikai. The reason for this is that we learn in chapter 507 that there is no Zanpakuto in existence whose Shikai and Bankai do not share related abilities. A Shikai is the partially manifested power of a Shinigami's inner soul, as a Shikai typically transforms a Zanpakuto into a unique weapon, or it displays a special ability. Now this stage is achievable only after learning the name of one Zanpakuto. Bankai, on the other hand, is the fully manifested power of a Shinigami's inner soul, and in order to achieve Bankai, it requires a Shinigami to subdue their inner Zanpakuto spirit. This will enable them to activate Bankai, and the process of mastering Bankai can take up to 10 years. A Bankai increases the combat abilities of a Zanpakuto Shikai by up to 5 to 10 times, thus making this complete release of a Zanpakuto a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Sasakibe's Shikai is first revealed during the Soul Society arc in chapter 152. This happens after Ichigo arrives to rescue Rukia from the Sokyoku, as Soifon orders all of the lieutenants to pursue Renji. As Ichigo intercepts them, Soifon orders the lieutenants to go after Renji, who is leaving with Rukia, as Ichigo intercepts them. In the following panels, we catch a brief glimpse of Sasakibe alongside Omaida and Isane as they simultaneously release their Shikai. The Shikai of Gonryōmaru is activated with the command Bite, as it transforms the Zanpakuto into a rapier. Now a rapier is a traditionally straight two-edged sword with a narrow pointed blade. The Shikai design is inspired by the real-world dress sword, which is a type of sword which was used within Renaissance Spain during the 16th and 17th centuries, as it was a symbol of nobility and it was often used as a weapon for dueling and self-defense. This type of sword is referred to as a dress sword because it was typically used as a piece of fashion, as it was an accessory added to clothing. Now let's go back to Kubo's manga. Now it doesn't delve deep into how Sasakibe's Shikai harnesses its lightning-based abilities, as it leaves this up to fans to speculate, as unfortunately Sasakibe doesn't get a chance to showcase his Shikai power again after this, as Ichigo swiftly defeats the lieutenants without even drawing his own Zanpakuto. One of the disappointing aspects of Sasakibe's character is the lack of clarity regarding the lightning capabilities of his Shikai. My personal headcanon is that Sasakibe's Shikai possesses the ability to precision target his opponents, allowing him to strike a single opponent with lightning as he focuses the power of his Zanpakuto on that one strike. This is in contrast to the power of his Bankai, which has a bit more of a wider ranging attack, as he is able to control the weather over a large area. Therefore, it would make sense that his Shikai is a bit more of a tamed version of his Bankai, thus possessing more of a concentrated lightning-based attack which targets individuals rather than entire areas. Since the manga does provide minimal information, I'll briefly touch upon what we see in the anime regarding Sasakibe's materialized Zanpakuto spirit. During the filler Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, which takes place between episodes 230 to 265, Sasakibe's Zanpakuto Gonryōmaru appears as a young man with long dark hair and a white cloth tied around his forehead. Interestingly, the other Zanpakuto spirits don't recognize him, which might be an inside joke created by Kubo or the animation team. Despite Sasakibe's admiration for English culture, Gonryōmaru manifests as a traditional Japanese samurai. Curiously, he uses a pike to fight rather than a dress sword. In episodes 242 and 243, Gonryōmaru demonstrates his ability to manipulate lightning effectively, thus gaining an advantage in stormy weather and even limiting his enemies' movements by surrounding them with bolts of lightning. While this is all filler content, it's worth noting that Kubo was heavily involved in designing all of the Zanpakuto spirit designs, which he had given over to Studio Pero for this filler arc. So this does suggest that Sasakibe's Shikai does likely have some form of lightning-based ability. We learn a lot of information about Sasakibe's Bankai via a flashback in chapter 503, where Sasakibe was motivated to master his Bankai because he had aspired to become Yamamoto's right-hand man. Now, the anime does elaborate upon this by showing us an anime-exclusive scene, and it does an excellent job of adding to Sasakibe's character, as it truly showcases the impact of his Bankai Koko Gonryo Rikyu, and just how powerful it was when it was wielded by its original owner. And this is in contrast to the manga, where we had only seen Driscoll Bercy use a weakened version of this Bankai. Now, Sasakibe raises his Zanpakuto into the air during this anime exclusive scene, and he calls out the name of his Bankai as dark clouds gather ominously above him. A powerful bolt of lightning is then summoned from his Zanpakuto, and it pierces through the clouds as the bolt of lightning quickly anchors itself to the ground, creating a loose but striking structure of lightning bolts. As Sasakibe charges towards Yamamoto, he is able to infuse his blade with the spiritual energy from these lightning bolts, thus creating a visually impressive effect where he appears cloaked in lightning. This ability is known as lightning infusion, and it's both powerful and visually stunning. If you pay close attention to the anime, you'll notice a distinct difference in the color of the lightning bolts between Sasakibe's and Driscoll Bercy's versions of this Bankai. While Sasakibe's lightning bolts are depicted with crackling yellow energy, Driscoll's version manifests with purple energy. This difference in color likely signifies signifies the variation in Reiatsu between the two wielders. The anime further supports this idea by showing that while Sasakibe was able to leave a scar on Yamamoto's forehead with his lightning-infused attack, Driscoll on the other hand barely managed to scratch Yamamoto, thus highlighting the gap in their power and the mastery of this incredible Bankai. Kubo does an excellent job of helping us to better understand his characters via the varied power system within Bleach. In the case of the Shinigami, it's well established that a Zanpakuto's shape and abilities are reflective of the user's soul, while the connection between a Shikai and a Bankai can be either literal or symbolic. Both of these phases of a Zanpakuto's release offer insights into different aspects of a character's personality and their inner world. Unfortunately, we never fully discover the true capabilities of Sasakibe's Shikai, and it makes it challenging to explore the exact link between his Shikai and Bankai. However, we can infer that the thematic consistency of lightning-based abilities hints at a deeper aspect of Sasakibe's nature. Outwardly, he appears as a composed and authoritative figure, always at Yamamoto's side, and he has a very regal and noble demeanor similar to Byakuya Kuchiki. Beneath Sasakibe's calm exterior, we have seen him capable of ruthless and destructive actions when necessary. For instance, via another anime exclusive scene over 1,000 years ago, we had learnt that Sasakibe demonstrated his lethal potential by hiding beneath a pile of dead Quincy bodies, and he was responsible for delivering the decisive blow against Yhwach, which had led to the defeat of the Quincy back when the original Gotei 13 had fought against Yhwach's army. Sasakibe's reserved nature, especially when it comes to battle, mirrors the saying, lightning never strikes the same place twice. Despite Sasakibe never openly having revealed his Bankai during the present timeline of the story, he is not the type of person who would release it again merely just to satisfy the curiosity of others. Sasakibe is factually the longest serving lieutenant within the Gotei 13. This wasn't because of his lack of ability, but rather because he did not want to be promoted to the rank of captain, as he had preferred to serve under head captain Yamamoto, the man that he had aspired to be like and the one that he had looked up to. I do think that the 1000 Year Blood War arc anime had done an excellent job with putting a lot of respect on Sasakibe's name, and I for one still get goosebumps whenever I go back and look at that flashback sequence where Sasakibe utilizes his Bankai against Yamamoto. It's gut-wrenching to know that Yamamoto was the only individual who truly understood the talents of his former subordinate. Despite this fact, Sasakibe had remained steadfast towards the very end. Even during his funeral ceremony in chapter 486, Byakuya states that no matter how other people had thought of him, Sasakibe had remained a proud and upstanding lieutenant. He never harbored his own secret ambitions to become a captain, but instead he had sworn an oath to support Yamamoto for as long as they were both alive. It was incredibly emotional to say goodbye to Sasakibe at the beginning of the 1000 Year Blood War arc, and I hope that this video has helped you to better appreciate his character. It is fascinating to speculate whether if Sasakibe will return during the Hell arc, and if we'll get another chance to see his Bankai Koko Gonryo Rikyu. We all know that Sasakibe was at a captain rank, so therefore his spirit class will be either 1, 2, or 3, which means that he has most likely been sent to hell, along with Yamamoto, Unohana, and Ukitake. So if Kubo does decide to continue the manga via an all-new story arc, it does give an opportunity for us to see more of Sasakibe's powers, hopefully. I do hope that this video has helped you to better understand Sasakibe's Bankai and how it operates, as well as the significance of the bond that he shares with Yamamoto. We've now reached the point of the video where I do want to hand over the discussion to all of you. What do you guys think about Sasakibe's Bankai reveal? What were your thoughts about all of the anime exclusive scenes in Core 1 related to his character? If there's anything that I've forgotten to mention about Koko Gonryo Rikyu, then let me know by leaving a comment under this video. And lastly, thanks for making it to the end of this one, and I cannot wait to see you in my next Bleach Explained video. A massive thank you goes out to all of my amazing Patreon supporters for helping to make this video possible. If you also want to support the channel and see your name in the end of my videos, then check out my Patreon, which has loads of perks like early video access and so much more. Thank you for sticking around till the end of the video, and whatever you contribute will mean a lot to me.